And we are live, I believe, on LinkedIn and YouTube. And I'm sure many more of you will see this on video replay. I'm Dale Peterson. Welcome. I hope you all had a good summer. For me, summer officially ends today because my daughter starts middle school today. And those of you that have been coming to S4 for years, many years, probably remember her when she was much younger. Her first year was at S4 was when she was 4 months old. We have a cute picture of her up at the podium. But welcome. I know a lot of you have returned from Las Vegas. I hope you had a good time at Black Hat and DEF CON. I heard the ICS Village was great. I did not go again this year. DEF CON isn't really my scene. I know it's for some people, but I think I might stick out and look like Spot the Fed or whatever, even though I haven't been a Fed for about 35 years. But I hope you had a good time. I looked at the agenda. There looked like there was not a lot of OT on the agenda that was novel. Some good sessions, informational sessions, strategy sessions. But in terms of attack sessions, I just saw one session on attacking some OPC-UA protocol stacks. So I'll take a look at that and probably review that. But I hope everyone had a great summer, and I'm sure maybe a few people out east have a couple more weeks. Most of the country has gone back to school, gone back to work. Europe probably not quite yet, but we'll get there. And I just wanted to have this live stream to give you a bunch of information on S4, quick hits on a variety of topics, and also to answer your questions. So if you go to the comments league, actually it'd be helpful if someone would put a comment in that they're actually hearing and seeing me. So I'm not talking to dead air here. That'd be helpful. But if you put your questions in or comments when I ask a question, we're going to prioritize those. I am running solo today. Producer Liz had an appointment, and I still wanted to do it today. So I might be a little bit slower, but I will get to all your questions and comments. So, Mark, thank you. That's good to know. So let me dive in here. First, just the 1 minute overview on S4 for those who have not attended. It is really designed for a specific attendee. It's a forward-looking event, really designed for early operators, and the tagline is "Create the Future." So it's people that are looking at what do we do next? How do we be on the leading or bleeding edge of this? If you saw my article this week, it won't work in OT. If that's your attitude, you might not like S4 because you're going to hear a lot of things that are going to make you angry. So it's really designed for kind of the leading edge, not the even the late majority, and certainly not the Luddites. But again, all are welcome. We don't say you can't come. The other thing is it's an advanced conference. It's designed for the advanced OT security pro. There's no 101, no 201 talks in this. If you're just new to the community, there are a lot of great shows for you. This is not a great show for you. S4 isn't. You need to know, you need to have a solid foundation to really get the most out of it. And then the other thing is we try to put this in a creative environment to break you out of your ruts, even the stages, but the parties, the big sunny area where you can hang out under a tent and talk to your colleagues. And that's the last thing I want to say is that you'd be there with 1,000 of the world's best people who really speak at other events. So we try to put all these great people in a creative mix and throw a bunch of new ideas at them and see what happens. We don't have control over that. We don't try to say this is specifically what we're trying to accomplish. I guess if we're trying to accomplish anything, it's to create this environment where new ideas can be presented and built on. And that we do have many examples like ICS for ICS, the top 20 PLC list. You hear the buzzword insecure by design. There are many, many things that started at S4. Even some of the companies that are biggest in market in this space started at S4. So this is what we're thinking. We're always trying to think, how can we improve our target attendees' experience? And that's our goal. That being said, if you want to come to S4, I'm back. Okay. Well, not sure what happened there, but anyways, so let me get into it now. And again, I'll take your questions and comments. The fun of going live here. The first thing is the call for presentations, CFP. That is open until the end of this month, until August 31st. So now is the time. If you should have gotten your your response in earlier, but if you haven't, now is the time to get it in. We have accepted about 50% of the content, and that's a little lower than usual. And I want to explain why. What we have been doing this year, first of all, we get something in, you send us something, we will respond to you with a yes, no, or maybe, or some questions within a week. And typically it's within 1 to 2 days. We're getting in about 3 to 5 presentation proposals a day. Every day I have something on my calendar to look at them and respond to them. So you will get a very quick answer, which I think is very unusual. You don't see that very often. Now, the most common answer is no, because we have about 60 spots and we're getting a lot more than that coming in. Well, if we say no, we'll try to give you a reason. There are some kind of classical ones. This is not an S4 presentation. It's 101 level. Be great for other conferences, or repeat speakers often are told no because they talked last year, and we want new people on stage every year. I do also try to include a couple of sentences at least as to why we said no. So you will get a little bit of feedback from me. And if you have questions, even after I send it, some people will ask for more information. I'm happy to do that because I appreciate you took the time to submit, but we want to get that quick no back to you so you have time to submit something else. A lot of times people have to submit 3, 4, 5 times before they get something that's a yes. So the most common answer is no, and then the least common answer is yes. But we do have yeses. We've accepted about 30 sessions, a little over 30 sessions. Occasionally, we'll get one in immediately that will say, yes, we want this. I just looked it up yesterday. We got one from Ben Morgan on Friday, and we got back to him, I think, on Monday saying, yes, we want this. It's a great session. But more often than not, we'll get this proposal in and we'll say, you know, we're not sure we understand it. Maybe this one section is good for S4. And it's really common. So don't be freaked out if you go back and forth. It's more often than not, there's 4 or 5 back and forths before we say yes. And the reason why I would say at this point, we typically would have accepted about 80% of the sessions. This year, it's about 50%. It's because we're being more selective on the yeses. Anyone that we have said yes to is a slam dunk. We have to have this on the S4 stage. There's a number. We have many, many maybes. we have maybes to fill 3 S4s. But they weren't slam dunk. Some of them were, yeah, that'd be a great S4 session, but we might get something better. Let's hold off on saying yes to that. So we have a lot of strong sessions. If you're in the maybe group, what we're going to look is at the end of August, we're going to look at everything in that maybe group, and we're going to look at the agenda, and we're going to say, well, we need more offensive security presentations. So let's look at those maybes. We have them all categorized, and we'll pick the strongest sessions in that group that fit the holes in the agenda that we see. But the key here is get your proposal in by August 31st. I can't really think of a better way for you to get your big idea, your great research out there in front of people. And I will tell you, a lot of people that you know very well in this industry were first noticed at S4. So if you're new to this industry, we want new faces on stage. We actually try to get new people with new ideas on stage as much as we can at S4. So if you have any questions on the CFP, put them in the chat, put them in the comments, and we'll answer those. But I'm going to go to my next topic, which is women in ICS security. And it's funny, this is what I've been getting more questions on than anything else. which is great, right? There's a lot of interest in this. Need my coffee in the morning here in Maui. So we've been getting a lot of questions. When will it be out? What are you doing and such? So let me give you an overview. We are going to have 10 Women in ICS Security sponsor packages again this year, or not sponsor, scholarship packages. So we will be giving away 10 free tickets to women to attend S4. And last year we did a $1,500 stipend, but what we heard was by the time they won the scholarship, it was hard to get a hotel room. So what we're doing instead this year is you'll get a free ticket and you'll get up to 4 nights at the Surf Comer Hotel on us. So we'll pay for your hotel. You will have to pay for your airfare, any extra meals. We feed you a lot at S4. But if you want extra food, you're going to have to do that, any other expenses. So we will have 10 of these scholarship packages for women. We don't have the exact date when applications will be out, but we believe we'll start accepting applications around October 1st. So that's when you can submit. And again, I would say it's encouraging that so many women want to come and want the scholarship to be able to come. What's a little discouraging is the reason they need the scholarship is they're not getting support for their company or from their company to come. So if you are a company that's going to be sending multiple people to S4, I would encourage you to consider sending, at least one woman in the group of women group of attendees you're sending. The whole goal here is to grow the number of participants in the OT security industry. And since women represent 50% of the population and about 12% of the OT security population, we have some work to do with that opportunity. So that's a scholarship program. The other thing with the Women in ICS Security is there will be a social event Wednesday night. It'll be the Women in ICS Security dinner. This is something that Maggie started, Maggie Morgante, Emma Stewart helped out a lot last year. There's probably other people that helped that I should know their names, but I don't. They're going to be putting on their dinner Wednesday after the Cabana session. So at about 6 o'clock, full details aren't out yet. But for your planning, you should plan for that. We decided that event was kind of adjacent to S4. So this was something that Maggie and the team did all on their own. And we would put on like a happy hour on Monday night. What we've decided to do, because their event has gotten so big and they were asking for some help, we're going to help out Maggie, Emma, and that group with their event. They're still going to run the event, but we're going to help them out with the logistics, make sure everyone that comes to S4 knows about it. That was an issue last year because it wasn't, really part of S4. And we're going to donate. We used to pay about $20,000 to $25,000 for that kind of that evening reception. Instead of doing that, we're going to donate that money to Emmy, the Women in ICS Security dinner that Maggie and Emma put on. And I do know that they're going to be looking for other sponsors for that. Now, probably not at that amount, but any amount helps. So they're going to put together some sort of sponsored package that would recognize you with signage and such. So when that comes out, I'd encourage you to do that. That's the Women in ICS Security program. And again, happy to take any questions about that. Moving on, the POC Pavilion, the Proof of Concept Pavilion. There is one spot left in the pavilion. We have had numerous applications that we've had to say no to because they couldn't really do what the pavilion was designed to do. The pavilion is designed to actually have an OT system that the pavilion participants, the sponsors, have to install their solution and demonstrate their solution on the pavilion. So, for example, we had a company that does cyber risk quantification that wanted to be in there. But the only way they could do that is if they had a lot of business information, about the widget that was manufactured and the cost and the risk model and all these other things. We don't have that. We have a highly realistic OT system, but we didn't have that information to feed in their model, so they couldn't demonstrate it. It would have been a great solution, but it wouldn't have worked in the pavilion. Another example, we've had a number of detection vendors want to participate. And those are very important solutions in OT. But the problem is there's not going to be any attacks on the OT system in the pavilion to detect. So you can't really do a demo of how great your detection solution is. They did offer, they said, well, we can run an attack and then show how we detect it. But that's the whole problem with demos, right? I mean, if you watch a detection vendor show you that their product works, they're obviously only going to run attacks that they can detect and they look great at. And so here we are trying to say, no, let's make this like a proof of concept, not a controlled demo. So there's one spot left. We have a couple people kicking the tires on it. If you want to be in the pavilion, I think the pavilion's going to be really cool. I just saw what they did at Prove It. I think it's going to be something that if we can prove it out this year that it actually can work, will probably grow in future years. But one spot there left. Okay. Again, taking any questions or comments if you have them, but I'm going to move on to tickets. Tickets go on sale on September 15th. You will want to get your ticket in the first 36 hours. If you're a longtime S4 person, you know how this works. We sell our tickets by ticket block. So tickets 1 through 100 cost $1,695, $1,695 plus tax. And those tickets, those first 100 tickets usually go in the first couple of hours. So we didn't want to say, well, if we put them on sale, let's say 9 Eastern, that's really unfair to the people in Asia. And whatever time zone we picked would be unfair. So what we've done is we've said, we're going to keep the ticket one pricing for the first 36 hours. So everyone around the world has one full waking hour daytime to buy their ticket. So for those first 36 hours, they're $16.95. Now, the last couple of years, we have sold over 500 tickets in those first 36 hours. That means that if you don't buy your ticket in the first 36 hours, you're going to be in the 501 to 750 block, which costs $500 more. It's $21.95 plus tax. So if you know you want to be at S4, September 15th, put it on your calendar, prepare to buy your ticket then. You'll save significant money. The other thing is that, unfortunately, and I really don't like this, we are size limited in the venue that we're at. This is our last year in Miami Beach, partially because they don't have a venue that is the right size for us. We can sell up to 1,100 tickets. Well, that's not quite right. We can have up to 1,100 attendees. We have about 60 speakers. We have a variety of other tickets, but we can have up to 1,100 people there. So you probably, even if money doesn't matter to you, you should prepare to buy your ticket this year, because there's a good chance they will be sold out before the end of the year. Now, the other reason why you want to get your tickets is if you want to be in the hotel block, because you need to have a ticket to reserve a room in the conference hotels. And I've got my EA every week goes through, he downloads the list of hotel reservations, checks it against the tickets. If you don't have a ticket, you lose your room in the hotel. So the only way to get a room in the hotel is to have a ticket. So that's another reason to buy it, because people love the hotels that we have. The Lowe's itself is, I think, the nicest hotel on South Beach by far. I don't even think it's close. Beautiful pool. If you're bringing your family, they would love it. I think, sold out in November last year. We sold out all the rooms, or I guess in That would be in 24 when we were in Miami. They go fast. We have, I looked it up, we have 394 rooms in the Lowe's Hotel, and we have 1,100 tickets. So you can imagine only about a third of the attendees can stay in that hotel. The price for the Lowe's Hotel is $349 plus tax. There's no resort fee. We've taken care of that. So there is a resort fee, but we bundle that in. So you would pay $349 plus tax, which seems like so much, but when I'm traveling these days, hotel prices have gone up a lot. And if you were to go on the internet and try to reserve a room there or go to the Lowe's site, you'd be paying like $800 for that room. It is gorgeous. You'll be very happy with it. I think one of the questions we got most in 2024 is, how do I get a room in the Lowe's next year? The answer is buy your ticket early and reserve your room right after you buy your ticket. The other hotel we have, I mentioned earlier for the women's program, is the Surf Comer. We have a small block there. That's where the cabana sessions are held. So we have a 60-room block there. Again, same price, $349 plus tax. Some people, we have a lot of old timers because we've been at the Surf Comer for many years. So we have a group that says being around that Surf Comer pool is so nice at night, and they go back there year after year. The 10 women in ICS Security will be there, so maybe you want to join them, the scholarship winners. And then we have a lot of vendors that are Cabana Session sponsors that find it more convenient to be there. So those are our two hotels. Those, again, will become available on September 15th. After you buy a ticket, you'll get an email saying this is how you reserve your room. And the last thing I have for you is news I'm not really happy about, but it's about the welcome party. We have had the welcome party when we were in Miami the last few years. I don't know, Liz, how long it's been. It's been since 2000. She says 8 years. Liz is here, by the way. She arrived. She got hurried back from her appointment, so she's back. We were at the Botanical Gardens for 8 years. We really enjoyed it there. The team we worked with there over that time was fantastic. I know the attendees really liked it there. Unfortunately, they got a new team in, and we had the Botanical Gardens under contract. But one of the things you learn in Miami is that things don't quite work like they do most of the places in the country, and a contract doesn't seem to mean anything. So unless we want to sue the city of Miami to say, hey, we have a contract, they basically told us we're not having the party there because they found someone else to have the party there. So we lost the Botanical Garden. And what we decided to do, since this is our last year in Miami South Beach, is we are moving the party, the welcome party, to the Jackie Gleason Theater, to the Fillmore, where the event was for about 3 or 4 years. It's the old Art Deco theater. And we've got great plans for that. It does have, for those who missed it at the Botanical Gardens, it does have a place that we can turn into a cigar lounge. So I think our people who wanted one last cigar at the Botanical Gardens, you'll still get one last S4 cigar. The people who don't like cigars will be happy because the cigar lounge will be isolated, so you won't have to deal with the smoke. We've got a lot of things planned there. If you've come to S4, I think you can trust us that we'll create a fun environment for you there. And it'll be nice to kind of say goodbye to Miami by saying goodbye to the Fillmore, to the Jackie Gleason, because that was when we moved to Miami South Beach. That was where we first held the event in a real theater. So we'll be doing some fun things there. And that was the last thing on my list. If there are any questions, I'm happy to answer them. If there are not, I'm going to stop it here. As always, I'd encourage you, if you have any questions, you can send an email to info@s4xevents.com. Liz, can you put up the S4 site banner? If you want to see more details, we're going to get more active on that. Right now, we're really plowing through the CFP to create the agenda. But once we get close to ticket sales, you'll see a lot of things up there. And I think with that, if I don't see any questions, I'm going to end the live stream. Enjoy the start of your school year or what's left of your summer, and I'll talk to you soon.